bought it from an antique store in a small town in Indiana. It was made by a gentleman named August Bueller. He made it for the Chicago World's Fair of 1933. He made 14 posters, and I was lucky enough to be able to buy all 14.
And how much did you pay for that one?
I believe I paid $35 for it, probably over 20 years ago.
Well, we've got three very distinct posters here. What's the common connection between them?
The wheel. I am a collector of antique automobiles and automobilia, and I'm addicted.
So anything with a wheel. So in fact, we have a bicycle poster, we have and two Petroliana, two gas posters.
Yes.
Now, how about the one behind you?
The one behind me is the favorite in my collection. Drive to the fair with mobile gas. Probably about 15 or 20 years ago, a home 2 houses down from where we live. The gentleman died, and his grandson, or his son, I forget, asked me would I like to have this. His father worked for a company called Saccone Mobile, I believe it was called then, in the 30s, and he was in the graphic arts department. They made posters for the '39 New York World's Fair, and this was made, and I was told it's the only poster ever made.
How about this third one?
This one was bought probably 10 plus years ago at an antique car show in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and a dealer from France had this here. He claimed that it was in his father's house for many, many years, and I was drawn to it because I thought it was an impressionist painting. It turned out, obviously, it's a poster, but I was just drawn to the poster. It was very unusual, and again, it's a sickness. I had to have it.
And I want to play doctor now and
Okay.
cure your sickness a little bit.
Thank you.
If not cure it, it may be incurable. I think your wife understands that. But we can maybe alleviate some of the symptoms.
Thank you.
And I want to start first with the shell poster. I did a lot of research on this piece, and I couldn't find anything that related it to the Chicago 1933 World's Fair. All the research I found showed that it came from 1936, so a few years after the fair, when Bueller did a whole series with this title, The World Experience in Every Gallon, and all of the posters show different aspects of the world.
Right.
And so it's a great series. Some of them have come up for auction in the past, and when they come up for auction, they do a far sight better than the $30 you spend. They tend to sell in the $400 to $600 range.
Wonderful.
Now behind you, you've looked everywhere for this 1939 New York World's Fair poster to try and find it. And you've heard that it's the only one around. So intuitively, we have to understand that as a poster, as advertising, they didn't just make one. To make one poster, you can't advertise to a lot of people. Right. They printed a lot of these, and they were distributed to different mobile companies, mobile stations around the country. One? Yes, and it has come up for sale once. Here's the thing that I'm going to cure you of. You can't find this by Googling the 1939 World's Fair in New York, because it was the 1939 World's Fair in San Francisco. And what you thought was the Chrysler Building was actually a structure they built called the Tower of the Sun. So if you look up the 1939 World's Fair in San Francisco, you'll find these buildings, and the poster has come up for sale once. The result at auction was about $400. Now the final piece we have is from the turn of the century, and the artist's name is Abel Trouchet. And Abel Trouchet is a very well-regarded and highly collected Art Nouveau artist. This poster is really rare, and I've never seen one before that wasn't a reproduction. And its value is the highest of all of them, and at auction I'd estimate it between $1,500 and $2,000.
Very interesting. Well, live and learn.
Live and learn.
Thank you very, very
You're
much.
welcome.
I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. I'm happy to heal the sick.
Thank you.
Like hands-on.
I'll never be cured.